LAUSD is accused of mismanaging millions of dollars of money, money that was allocated for the arts. In 2022, California voters overwhelmingly passed Prop 28 to provide additional funding for arts and music programs in all K through 12 public schools. The proposition added $77 million a year in new funding for LA Unified. But tonight, the author of Prop 28 says the district broke the law when it did not use the money appropriately. And that Prop 28 author happens to be the former superintendent of LAUSD, Austin Beutner. It's good to see you, sir. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
How did LAUSD break the law?
The law says, in real plain language, increased art and music in every school. Add to the programs you have. You can't use the new money to replace what you're already doing. What LA Unified has not done is increase arts and music in every school, and they've used the money to replace what they're already spending money on. So law was increase arts, don't use the money for old things. LA Unified has not increased arts, and they're using the money for old things. Pretty simple. It
seems pretty straightforward. Now, of course, we did reach out to LAUSD for a statement. They denied any wrongdoing. Instead of sending us a statement, they sent us a lot of information about how they see themselves in investing in the arts within their own programs within the school district. We want to show our viewers that to show that we did do our due diligence to reach out. Meanwhile, this week, the district announced it's adding $30 million to elementary school budgets for arts staffing in the upcoming school year. Now, this is in addition to the Prop 28 money. Why isn't this enough moving forward, or is it?
Well, what they're doing is it's kind of like, you know, that three-card money where you move things around. We're talking about last school year, just ended. Imagine if a bank robber leaves the scene. You come across them, they've opened up the bag, it's got the blue paint all over them and money on the seat, and they say, well, hang on a sec, what if I just put a little bit of money back? Is that okay? No, it's not. What we have to start with is transparency for what actually happened in 23-24, where we should have seen increases. That money should be given to schools right away. We should engage the school communities. The law actually says each school has a choice what to do. Not a superintendent, not the state superintendent, not a school board. Let's go back to the local voices that matter, the teachers and the families in that school, and say, okay, we're going to put the money back in that should have been there for last year, and we're going to give you the money you're supposed to get for next year, because each school has a specific amount of money, and you tell us, school families, school community, what you'd like to do with it. That's where we have to start. It starts with, frankly, a reckoning and an admission that what happened last year was wrong.
So it seems like moving forward that they will be doing as they should with Prop 28. That's yet to be seen.
That's yet to be seen. It's only part of the picture. We're just talking about elementary schools. There's also middle schools and high schools. And you still had last year where kids got left behind. You got to make that right, and you got to start with a baseline. School by school, every school should know what they had before the proposition came into effect, what they were supposed to have had last year, and what they may have next year. Pretty simple.
What does accountability look like? Because I know that you've gone to the very top, and that means Governor Newsom, that means Tony Thurmond, who is the superintendent of all California public instruction.
Right.
What do they say? What does accountability look like for
Accountability is the facts, the truth. I think what happens in a situation like this is school leadership lose trust of a school community. If you're not sharing the information, if you're telling people something that's false or misleading, they just sent a report to the state on what they did with the funds. It's not accurate. So they got to start with the truth, and what we're hoping is Tony Thurmond, who's the state superintendent, Malia Cohen, who's the state controller, commence an immediate audit so every school community have the facts before the new school year starts, and we can start doing the right thing by kids.
One of the things that you really wanted to stress is you didn't want it to be the former LAUSD superintendent against his former school district. You are the author, as I stated out in the onset, of this proposition, and you at the soul of this is the kids.
Well, you know, my passion was to make sure, and our coalition was to make sure every kid had a chance to participate. Before this, barely 1 in 5 public schools had a full-time arts or music teacher. This gets every school that full-time arts and music teacher, and in higher needs communities, 2 teachers. But as I look at this, I wrote it. I know what it says. I tested the language on my 89-year-old mother. It's simple language. It says every school should see an increase, and you can't use the money to pay for something you're already doing. That's not hard to understand.
And again, this is K through 12 public schools across California. You love what Long Beach is doing. They've done an exemplary job with the funds.
Yeah, they're the shining star. Right next door, by the way. LA, Long Beach, right next door. They started a year ago. They went to every school community and said, guess what? Marla, we have extra money for your school for the arts. This is what arts education, it could be dance, theater, animation. You help us choose. Let's go out and find a great teacher. Lo and behold, they've hired 150 additional arts teachers in Long Beach who are working with kids. By that same standard, Los Angeles Unified should have hired 1,000 new arts teachers who are in schools already. They haven't. That we should look like Long Beach. They're the gold standard.
Okay, well, we appreciate you coming on, giving your perspective. We've invited LAUSD to do the same, and so we'll keep a watch on this. Austin Beutner, thanks for being here.
Appreciate you taking time. It's
All
important.
Right.